Okay, so we're gonna actually start off laying down on our bellies on the mat. I know some people don't feel comfortable doing that. Hopefully in the space of your own home you feel comfortable doing that. So you can either put your arms next to you, or if you want to stack your hands and rest your head on your hands, turn your toes outward. We're going to actually start off turning the head one direction, left or right, doesn't matter. And just bringing yourself to your mat and breathing here. So there's a little bit of a back bend here, but other than that, just try to relax any tension. Soften around any tight places and just release, just surrendering. Just melting down into the floor or into the ground. And while we're here, let's turn the head the other direction. You can start to deepen the inhales and exhales. Become really aware of your breath rising up from your belly here, all the way up, filling up the lungs. And exhaling down, all the way down through the feet. Okay, good. And from here, we can roll over onto the back. And I forgot to mention, if you have a block, do you have a block? Yeah, okay. We're going to put that underneath the low back. So underneath the tailbone, so you can bend your knees and place your feet on the mat. And once you get there, we'll bring the right knee up towards you, and you can interlace the fingers underneath the knee. And if you like, you can also start to straighten out that left leg. Don't worry if it doesn't completely straighten out. And let's switch sides. So release your right foot back down to the mat and draw the left knee up toward you. Yeah. And whenever you're ready, you can also extend the right leg. Very good. So releasing the left foot down to the mat. You can place your right foot back on the mat, so both knees bent. And we'll move the block out of the way. We'll get back to using the block a little later. And from here, just raising the right foot up toward the ceiling. So nice, straight, right leg, both hips on the mat, and you can flex your foot. So draw your toes back toward you. And reaching the heel up toward the ceiling. Right, place the right foot back down on the mat, and we'll do just a few little pelvic tilts. So, well, let's see, as you inhale, you can arch the back up, kind of tilt the tailbone down, and the opposite way, just slightly tilting the tailbone up. You don't have to really lift up off the mat, and reverse it. So like little tiny cat cows. Let's do a few of these, maybe about 5. And then coming back to neutral spine, we'll raise the left foot up, flexing the toes and lifting the heel up toward the ceiling. Left hip down. All right, and placing the left foot back down on the mat. We'll just windshield wiper the legs here. So drop the knees down to one side, and then when you're ready, to the other side. Again, maybe 5 rounds, 5 or so. Okay, and back to the center. One more time, we'll lift the right foot up toward the ceiling, flex the toes. And then crossing the foot over the left knee, we're just gonna drop the left knee and the right foot over to the left, so a little twist, so that foot stays in contact right above the knee. And bringing it back up toward the center. Okay, we're gonna press into the left foot and lift the hips here. So you can roll your shoulders under. So it's like bridge, but only one foot, and you can leave that right foot still crossed over the left knee. Get a little hip opening on that right side. And back down to the mat, and then drawing the left knee up toward you. You can interlace the fingers in front or behind the knee for a little reclined pigeon pose. All right, one more fun one. So we're going to uncross the feet, place the right foot down on the mat, not quite up by your sitting bones. Kind of walk your foot out a little bit, but still keeping your right knee bent and keeping the hands interlaced behind or in front of the left knee. We're going to, okay, so this is weird. We're going to push the left knee against the hands and pull the right foot kind of toward you, but still staying on the mat. So it's a little reset for the SI joint, excuse me. So you're pushing with the left and pulling back with the right. All right, and then release the left foot down to the mat. You can even out the right side. Let's see. So same thing, we're going to lift the left foot up toward the ceiling. And then crossing your left foot over the right knee. You can drop everything over to the right side. So the left foot and the right knee. And back up to the center and lifting the hips. So press into that right foot. And we'll lower down, draw your right knee up towards you. You can interlace the fingers in front of that right knee and we'll already be where we need to be for the next one. And all right, so we're bringing the right foot back down and you can bring the left foot down. Oh, sorry, I actually want to keep the right knee up toward you. Interlace the fingers underneath the knee and then with that left heel on the mat, so the left knee is bent, we're going to just push the right knee against the hands and pull like with the foot staying still, pull toward the body with the left foot. So a little push pull. Okay, and release. All right, with both feet still on the mat, you can walk your feet up toward you. Come up into bridge pose, arms next to you, palms down. Take an inhale, lift the hips. And we'll just hold it. And exhale, lower down. Okay, one more time. We'll lift the hips and then squeezing the knees in toward each other. And release, lower down. One more time, lift the hips, coming up into bridge pose. And lower down. One more time, lift up, bring the knees in toward each other. They don't have to touch, but just kind of squeeze them in towards each other. And release and lower down. Now, we're going to lift up one more time, but this time raise the arms up and over the head with that lift. And kind of push into your feet. Push the feet forward. Exhale, lower down. Now you can bend the elbows, press the elbows into the mat. We're going to reach the right hand up and over to the left corner as we lift up. So as you lift up, reach that right hand up and over toward the left corner. And back down. And then we'll do the same thing to the right with the left hand. So left hand up and over. And back down. Okay. One more time, lift the hips. Just coming into bridge pose. And lower down. Inhale, lift up, and we'll squeeze the knees in toward each other. And lower down. One more time, lift up with the arms. So arms raise up and over. Ooh, and the last ones, okay. And the right hand up and over to the left. So kind of roll over to your right side as you reach up and over. And lower down. And then up and over to the left. Or that's to the right with the left hand, sorry. And lower down. Okay, both knees in toward the chest. Give them a squeeze. And we'll find our way up to seated so you can rock and roll up if you'd like. Or actually, we're going to come into all fours. So you can rock. Ooh, massage the back. Okay, coming into all fours. I'm going to turn this way just because I have my notes this way. All right. All right, here we are. All right, dropping the belly down, turn the chin and tailbone up. And exhale, reverse it. So arch the back up, drop the tailbone and the head down. And back to neutral spine. We'll raise the right arm up. And exhale, threading it underneath the left so you can lower the hips too while you're there. So be in like a half child's pose. Take a couple breaths here. All right. Back into table to all fours. And we're going to reach the left arm, right leg out. So press down through that right hand and hold it. And then bring elbow and knee together and reach back out. We'll hold it. Elbow and knee together and then hold it. Reach out and hold it, sorry. And back into all fours and press into downward facing dog. So turn your toes under and so snuggling those shoulder blades into the back. Walk it out if you'd like. So bend the knees and pedal the feet if that feels good. All right. And we'll come into the other side. So come back down into all fours and we'll drop the belly down, turn the chin and tailbone up, and then reverse it. Inhale back to the center and we'll lift that left arm up and exhale, threading it underneath the right, and you can press the hips back. All right, coming back into all fours, we'll reach the right arm, left leg out. And then pull it in, elbow to knee, and reach out. Just stretch it out, hold it, and then bring it back in. Stretch it out and hold it. And I think that was 3, so we'll come back into all fours and press back to downward facing dog one more time. Pulling the shoulders away from the ears, snuggling the shoulder blades in. All right. So we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. Something fun you might want to try today since I've got somebody here who's been taking yoga for a while, are the precursors to toe taps. So you can bring your hands out a little bit further away from your feet and then slowly start to come forward and bring the feet to the hands. I've had shoulder issues again today, so I'm not floating very much, but eventually floating the feet to the hands helps with your handstands too, just to come forward. Yeah. It really works. The more you do it, the more the lighter you start to feel. And from here, you can hang here, you can sway side to side, whatever feels good. Bend one knee at a time, and we'll make our way up to standing. We'll roll the back up. Okay, great. So we're gonna start our last flow. Actually, those were our flows for today, our first couple flows. So we'll start our last one. We'll do some long holds and then we'll flow through it. So I think I mentioned at the beginning of the class we were going to do a little bit, lean more towards some yin today, just to finish out the month. And then we'll start getting some more challenges in February, I think. All right, so with the feet together, arms next to the side, just take a couple moments. You might want to pull the belly in. It's really good for your back, really good to build core strength. Nice for the shoulders too, because as you're supporting yourself from your core, you can kind of relax the shoulders. Okay, so take an inhale, we'll reach the arms up. Uh-oh. Yep, reach the arms up, and on an exhale, come into a forward fold and bend the knees, coming into a squat. So reaching the heels towards the mat. They might not reach the mat today, and that's okay. Right, and up to chair pose. So we'll lift up, bring the heels back down. You can raise the arms up. You might look up at the hands. And exhale back into a forward fold. And we'll step back to plank pose. So just one foot at a time is fine. When we do it again, we'll switch whichever foot you step back with first. Lengthening the back here, you can roll the inside of the arms forward, pull your belly in, you can engage the legs, and pressing back to down dog. So your down dog is actually right there from your plank pose. Now we're going to come forward into side plank. So let's go to the right. I'm going to be facing away from you. So as you move forward to plank, then turn your heels to the left and reach the right arm up. If you want to stack the feet, you can do that or get fancy with it if you like. If you need to put your left knee down, that's okay too. And then we'll work our way back into plank. So bringing that right hand down, even it out, press back to down dog, and right leg lifts. If you want to open the hip here, you can bend the knee. I'm just going to stay in the three-legged down dog today. And stepping forward between the hands, stay on the ball of the back foot, and inhale, lift up for a high lunge or crescent lunge. All right, and we're going to move into side angle from here. So pivot and plant your back foot, and you can bring your right elbow to your right knee, or maybe your right hand down to the mat. Yogi's choice. You might look up at that left hand. And we'll swing the left hand down to the mat. And then bring the right hand down to the mat. All right, lifting the left foot up. So coming into a standing splits. So, or the whole left leg goes with the foot, folding over the right leg. All right, we'll step both feet together. I'm going to bend my knees to do that. You're welcome to keep straight legs. So stepping the left foot down to the right, coming up to a flat back. So half lift, lengthen the back. Exhale into a forward fold. And inhale all the way up to standing. And exhale, forward fold, coming into a squat. So bend the knees. And up into chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, and we'll step back to plank. Press back to down dog just for a moment here. And coming forward into plank, we'll turn to the opposite side for your side plank. So to the left, right. And bringing the left hand back down to the mat. Press back to down dog. And left leg lifts. And again, you can open up the hip here if you'd like. So if you're there, you can straighten it up, and we'll bring the left knee forward and step through between the hands, root to rise. If you fall over, that's okay. All right, and from here we'll go right into side angle, so you can plant that back heel, leaning to the left. Really make some space in the ribs. Iyengar describes a side angle as stretching everything, like all of the skin and everything. So a lot of strength and a lot of stretch. All right, we'll swing that right arm down, left hand down to the mat, framing the foot. All right, right leg lifts, coming into a standing splits. Don't worry about how high your leg goes. You can think about squaring the hips here. You might take a hold of the left leg with one hand. You're looking about at your knee, so off the tip of your nose here. And we'll step down. And let's just flow through this. So as we inhale, we're almost done. Hold on. Inhale, half lift. Getting ahead of myself. Half lift. Let that feel good. Exhale into a fold. And inhale will come all the way up. All right, we'll go through each. One more time. Exhale into a fold. Bend the knees, coming into a squat. And then rising up into chair pose. One more big inhale. Exhale to fold. And we'll step back to plank. And coming into side plank to the right. And bringing the left or right hand down. Press back to down dog. Right leg lifts. And stepping through into crescent lunge. So rising up. And exhale into side angle. So one more big inhale. Exhale, we'll swing the left hand down and then the right. Get good and rooted in that right foot, left leg lifts, standing splits. Inhale all the way up through that left foot and exhale, we'll step down. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale all the way up. Last side, so forward fold and into a squat. Let's see, up into chair pose. Exhale, fold. We'll step back to plank. Stretch it out nice and long and turning to the left. I'll bring the left hand down. Press back to down dog. Left leg lifts. And stepping through. Inhale to your crescent lunge. Into side angle to the left. And swinging the right hand down, then left. Right leg lifts. And stepping down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, arms down to the side. All right, we'll just vinyasa down. So take a vinyasa however you'd like. You know, we haven't done chaturangas or upward facing dogs in a few weeks. If you'd like to do that, you can. Exhale, fold. I am going to just step back to plank, stretch it out, and bring the knees down to the mat. Okay, whatever vinyasa you want to take, you're welcome to do that. And then grabbing another block, just checking the time. Yeah, okay, yeah, good. Okay, so we did this a couple weeks ago. We're just gonna lay over the block on our side. So bringing the block underneath where you can feel it on your shoulder blade, right underneath your armpit, basically. And you can keep your knees bent and then roll over. I found that just laying your head on your arm is sufficient enough. All right. And relaxing here, evening out the breath. Finding any resistance that you have to relaxing here. You know, just be aware of it. Maybe tell it to relax. Like, relax already. I could seriously just make a whole class just doing this right here, but that would be boring. So we'll go ahead and switch sides. Take your time. You can either flip over. I'm just going to come up to seated and just switch sides. And just notice usually one side is a little bit more argumentative than the other. Maybe it isn't for you today, which would be awesome. All right. Using the strength of your arms, we'll come back up to seated. And you can move the block, keep it nearby. You might be able to get back to using it here in just a minute. And then coming into Janu Shirshasana. So with the legs extended out in front, take a moment to Get comfortable how you're seated, and then we'll bend the right knee. Bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg. And inhale, reach forward over the left leg. So a little bit more yin way of practicing this. Maybe you reach the ball of your foot forward, and you can round the back. And I would suggest, rounding the back, and then as you drop the head down, I think we've talked about this in the last couple classes, tilting your chin and your head and your neck from the whole cervical spine. So, from the low back, rounding it all the way between the shoulders, all the way from the base of the neck. And then, of course, if that doesn't feel good, you can always prop your head up on your hands or with a block or a bolster. You can relax your arms. All right, inhale, we'll slowly start coming up. So reverse your way out, extend the right leg, reset however you need to, and we'll go to the left, or pulling the left foot in. And just relaxing over the right leg. All right, slowly finding your way back out. Extend the left leg out. And bending the knees slightly, we'll take the feet out, just right out to the edges of the mat. So coming into tortoise from here. So it's a forward fold, but the knees are bent, feet are separated, and you might just come down between the knees. You can bring the hands or arms underneath the legs and maybe take a hold of the feet there. So that's more of a yin way of doing it. If you want to go into more of an Ashtanga way, they bring the arms, I'm running out of room here. They bring the arms out to the side, underneath the legs, and eventually straighten the legs. And that actually feels good on the shoulders, but yogi's choice, where you want to be right now. This is just really nice on the back. Every time I do this, my femurs pop back into my hip joints. So, free chiropractic adjustment. All right, inhale, we'll come on up. And let's bring the legs back together. And you can extend the back. Okay, so crossing the right foot over the left knee. So we'll bend the right knee, cross the right foot over, and then bend that left foot in. Okay, so first, so the right knee is pointing upward. We're going to take the left hand behind the back, the right arm against the right knee, and you can twist to the left so it's to the inside of that right knee. You might turn and look behind you, but then turn and look over your right shoulder. And then come back to the center. So now we're going to sit down on both sitting bones. and take the twist to the right. So, but not quite all the way to the right. What we're going to do is bring the torso in toward the right leg and go more of a angle. So you can press into that right foot, both sitting bones are down, and then you might bring the right hand behind you, but you don't put all of your weight into the right hand. If you want to bring your elbow to the outside of your knee now, once you're here, that's fine. And you can turn and look over the right shoulder. And then let's turn and look over the left shoulder. And switch. So we'll switch the legs. Shake it off if you need to, and cross the left foot over the right knee. Fold the right foot in. Okay, so this time we'll go to the right. So to the inside of that left knee, right hand behind you. You can roll onto the left or right hip here. And then looking over the left shoulder. And we'll come back to the center. So sitting bones down, and this time we'll start the twist to the left. So bring the torso in to the leg. And feel good contact with the mat with that left foot. You can bring the left hand behind you. Yeah, and then maybe look over the left shoulder. And then for fun, we'll look over the right shoulder. Wee-wee. And back to the center, untwist. Okay, doing good. So we're gonna roll back down onto our bellies. And I know that this mic is gonna do weird things when I do this, so this will be fun. Okay, so feet together, we're gonna bring the hands next to the sides, either palms down, or I like to make fists with the thumbs pressing down into the mat. Your forehead can be down on the mat, or if that makes you feel weird, your chin. And we're gonna try a few versions of a lotus posture. So you engage the legs here. And you might want to experiment on your own whether you're exhaling or inhaling here. I like the inhale. I've seen it done both ways. So as you inhale, raise the right foot up. Now, depending on who you talk to or what class it is, they may say leave the right hip on the mat. I'm not worried about that today. Gonna press it with the hand and just let it feel good on the low back. And exhale, we'll lower down. And go into the other side. So pressing into the hands, take an inhale. Maybe you like the exhale. I've always liked the inhale. And exhale, we'll lower down. Now we're going to try both legs. So on this one, I better, but same thing. You might try and see which one works better for you. You might start off there. Feet may separate as you raise up. So exhale up. And exhale will lower. Okay, so there's one other version of this that they do in the Bikram series. I don't know if you've ever tried that. So what we're gonna do is bring the hands together underneath the body with the palms facing the mat and the pinkies together. I'm gonna roll onto your arms. Now, the first few hundred times I tried this, it hurt my forearms too much and I couldn't handle the pressure of being there. You can separate the hands and try that. You can bring the hands underneath the thighs or even underneath your hips. And same thing from here. Inhale, we'll press into the mat and lift the legs. And lower down and release the arms. That's a lot on the arms. A surprising a lot on the arms. Okay, so bring the hands out at about 45-degree angle from your shoulders. We're just gonna come up into seal, which is kind of like cobra, but your hands are a little further away from you. Feet can be just a comfortable distance apart. Inhale, we'll press into the mat, lift the shoulders, lift the head. And exhale, we'll lower down. And roll onto the side. So right side, left side. I'm gonna be on my right here. Knees are bent 45 degrees. Arms are out in line with your shoulders. Bring the palms together. Yeah. And then from here, we're gonna open up. So whichever arm is on top, you can kind of slide that across your arm, across your chest, and open up. See if you can leave your knees together and open up from here. And you're welcome to look over at that extended hand or just straight up toward the ceiling. All right, good. So take your time. We'll flip over to the other side. Roll onto the back, roll onto your side. Knees bent. Let's see. And you can bring the hands together. And then we'll take that top arm and slide it across the arm, across the chest, and up to the side. All right, good. So we'll find our way back to the center. You can roll back over to your side or just bring the knees up to the center. So we'll roll back onto our backs, knees bent. One more bridge pose just because it'll feel good. So roll the shoulders under and then inhale, lifting up the hips in. Press into your feet, press forward with the feet and lift the chest up. Exhale, we'll lower down. A few more little pelvic tilts. So release any tension that's left, in the hips and the lower back. And windshield wiper the legs again. Each side. And for our Shavasana today, since we started off with the blocks underneath the back, we can finish with it underneath the middle and the upper back if you'd like. If you'd rather take a different version of Shavasana, of course, you're welcome to do that. If you want to try this with the block, you might start off first with it in the middle back. So from about the tips of the shoulder blades down. And you can place another block under your head too, or a blanket if you'd like, or just let your head hang down to the mat. So if that feels not as nice, you can always place something under your head. And then whenever you're ready, if you feel like you're ready, you can extend the legs out. Drop the toes out to the side. So your back might argue with you at first. So the longer you stay there, it has to let go. Ideally, it has no choice. All right, you're welcome to stay here, or if you'd like, you can turn the block vertically and bring it up a little higher. So this time the bottom of it is right about at the bottom of the shoulder blades. So it gets the upper back. And again, you can either let the head drop down off the back of the block or the top of the block, or a blanket's nice, or you can even use another block. And then let those shoulders go. And you might also, one of these might also cause just a little tiny little pop in your back, which is nice. Another free chiropractic adjustment for the day. And if you like, in the last couple minutes, if you'd like to lay flat, you're welcome to do that, or you can stay here. It will not hurt anything to stay here, unless, of course, it is hurting, which we don't want. No. Take a few more big, deep cleansing breaths. We made it through another month. New things are coming. I hope that you can get some nice relaxation for the rest of the weekend and start the week and the month off strong. We'll start to bring awareness back into the body and wiggle fingers and toes. All right, take any other organic movement that might feel good for you. Before rolling onto your side. And using the strength of your arms to come up to seated. All right. So I hope that did some good things for you. If you have any requests for the coming month, please let me know. And that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions. The light in me reflects and honors the light in you. Namaste.